Hello, everybody. Welcome to Monday Night Training Call. This is Nathan Oates. I'm one of the founders of Team Elevate, and it is an honor. I am so pumped to be able to be talking with each of you tonight. And I hope that when you leave here today, you will have some nuggets to be able to figure out, hey, I know how to move forward in my business. That's the goal. So Monday Night Training Calls, I should say video calls, are here to help you grow as a leader, to help you grow in your business. So if you don't have anything to write down with, you need to grab something to write down with. I'm going to give you a few nuggets that will hopefully push you further along than when you first started this video, a little further along at the end. Okay. So with that being said, I was thinking about tonight and what we're sharing, how to be a pace setter in your doTERRA business. Let me define it first. What is a pace setter? A pace setter who is someone who puts themselves out in front in order to pave a way or lead a group of people to an end goal. Okay? That's what a pace setter does. They're putting themselves out in front to pave the way, to lead the way for a group or other people behind them to know how to get there, to know that it's possible. They're the first ones out in front. I was reading a book called Built to Last by Jim Collins. Great book, by the way. And he was talking about a store called Nordstrom. I don't know if you ever walked into Nordstrom. I've walked in Nordstrom, and when you walk in Nordstrom, it's like, wow, I feel really good. Like, they take pride in what they do. You feel really special being there at the store. And they go above and beyond when it comes to customer service, when it comes to just whatever it is. They really help serve you in major ways. The company really takes pride in itself, knowing that they've helped you feel satisfied and taken care of. So so much so where I've heard stories, I don't know if you've heard these stories or not, but Nordstrom, I remember reading one story where Nordstrom took back snow tire chains and gave this person a full refund for them. They don't even carry snow tire chains, okay? My brother David used to work at Nordstrom on the holiday seasons during college, and he loved it. He absolutely loved it. He said it was an amazing experience every time he went in there. But he remembers a guy walking in, and this guy had bought these pair of jeans at Nordstrom, but a long time ago. He could tell because in the jeans themselves, they had a tobacco can ring in the pocket there. Okay, he had these for a long time, and then there was this tear in it. And he goes, I need to exchange these because these are faulty. I've got to get a new pair because these are no longer good. So he came back with worn out, torn jeans. What do you think Nordstrom did? They gave him the exchange. They gave him a new pair of jeans. And I'm hearing these stories, and I'm like, for real? I mean, if I was in that situation and if it was my own business, I'm not talking Nordstrom, I'd be like, yeah, really sorry. You've had those for 10 years. Can't do anything about it. That's just what happens with stuff when it gets old. I mean, but they didn't do that. They said, no, we want you to be satisfied. We're going to go ahead and exchange it. Absolutely amazing. They go above and beyond. And so much so that, I mean, let me just say this. Why am I telling you about Nordstrom's? Because when it comes to setting the pace for companies in their industry, other companies, they're pace setters. But why do you think the company itself is pace setters? Because they work hard to create within the company pace setters. That's what makes Nordstrom such a pace setter in the retail industry. They have this rank called Customer Service All-Star. And when you get enough letters and good recommendations from other people that have had good experiences in Nordstrom, you get this first part of this rank. And it's a big deal. And like everyone wants this title, you know, to get Customer Service All-Star. But then when you combine that with being someone who actually helps people find what they're looking for, and they get high quotas and they're producing a lot, that combined together, they are given the title, they're given the title of Nordstrom Pace Setter. That's literally what they call them. And I thought that was so fascinating because in Nordstrom, to get this, you get huge accolades. When you become a pace setter for Nordstrom, you get to shake in person. They'll fly you out, or they'll fly to you, one of the owners of the company, and they will shake your hand. They'll put your name up on the board. They will give you bonuses and discounts and free gifts and promotions and all these different things when you become a PaceSetter of the company. Why? Because you are paving the way, and everyone wants to do what you're doing and to be like you. They're getting what they honor. And it follows throughout the entire company. So they're setting the pace for either a store or for a region as a whole. So it's a big deal when it becomes a PaceSetter in Nordstrom. And I think in the same way, if you can see how this translates a little bit in our DōTERRA business, we're PaceSetters. Like it or not, if you're wanting to build a business in DōTERRA, either you embrace being a PaceSetter or not. Whether you embrace it or not, you're setting a tone. Ginny and I like to use the analogy of don't be a thermometer, be a thermostat. Set the temperature, set the tone. That's what a PaceSetter does. So tonight, if you're writing some things down, I want to give you 4 keys to be the most amazing that PaceSetters need to be in your DōTERRA business. 4 keys to being a PaceSetter in your DōTERRA business, okay? And these are going to be very simple, but at the same time profound. If you already are a PaceSetter, this will be a good reminder for you to go, am I doing this? Am I really touching these 4 keys and continually pushing forward as a PaceSetter? If you're just starting your DōTERRA business, first off, welcome. We're so glad you're here. But understand that, hey, this is what it's going to take in order for you to be a dynamic PaceSetter that other people will follow, and they'll know that they can accomplish the same things you're accomplishing because you're paving the way, okay? So 4 keys. The first key is this. A PaceSetter has vision. If you want to have great success in anything in life, you have to have vision. You are the captain of your own ship, okay? You're telling it where to go, what to do in your DōTERRA business, when to do it, how to do it, and other people are watching and following you. What vision are you painting? And someone who has good vision, when I say vision, it's not just tunnel vision. I'm talking, you can see the big picture as a whole, including DōTERRA. You're in the bigger vision of DōTERRA vision, but at the same time, you can help other people follow behind you and follow along, and you're leading them to see that in this vision, they can see themselves in the vision. That's what a good visionary does. They can see and help others see themselves in that vision, so they take ownership and they start moving forward in doing that. I cannot tell you, you've got to begin to have vision. If you don't know how to have vision, that's a whole nother discussion. But I want to encourage you, number one, to be a good PaceSetter, you have to have vision. Do you have a big picture? Have you written it out? Do you know where you're headed? Do you know what other people are shooting for behind you? If you don't, you got to start being very specific in that vision so that other people can follow behind you. That's key number 1. A PaceSetter has vision. Okay. Number 2, the second key is set stretch goals. Now, all of us, I know, have weekly goals. We have monthly goals. Those are really important. And those actually help you have wins. Okay. It's really good to be able to do that. But understand, if you never set a stretch goal, meaning if you don't set that goal out there and that target out there, a big one, you're never going to hit it. If you shoot at nothing, you'll always get nothing. So you've got to have that stretch goal. You've got to put it out there. Again, it's good to have goals, but if you're always setting goals that you know that you're going to achieve every single week, every single month, you're not stretching yourself to go beyond. And the people behind you they're not able to see, what are they going for? Where are they going? And when you do hit that stretch goal, you might not, listen, when you do hit that stretch goal, it's like a huge deal. You celebrate, and the people behind you going, oh, that's amazing. They just hit it. I can do it. If nothing else, it just says, I can do it. And so I want to encourage you to realize that it's good to have goals, but you have to have stretch goals. A PaceSetter constantly does that because that stretch goal will constantly pull you and your team higher and higher along the journey, okay? So that's number 2. Number 1, have vision. Number 2, set stretch goals. Number 3, and this is a big one, a PaceSetter is not easily offended. PaceSetters are out front all the time. You're setting the pace. And let me tell you, when it comes to being the first, you are the first for everything, just about. The waves of everything, whether that be praise, whether that be rejection, whether there's sometimes it be instruction or correction or celebration. You get the waves of all of it first. And sometimes you can get triggered. Let's just be honest. It's just part of life. We all get things that set us off a little bit and like, oh, that rubbed me the wrong way. And someone who has a tough time dealing with offense, and if you're constantly eating the fruit, I call it the fruit of offense. If you're eating that constantly, you're going to struggle to lead your team because it will continue to slow you down and it will paralyze you from moving forward. Other people cannot move forward if you constantly stay in a state of offense. Yes, there'll be times where people might offend you and try to offend you, but you've got to begin to start dealing with those things that are setting you off. And let me give you just an easy step to begin to do. Begin to write down the things after conversations or whatever it is, maybe even with a spouse or with a friend that you can really trust. Hey, what are the things that set me off? Why do I do that? And ask your spouse or ask your friend, why do you think I get set off when this happens to me or when this is said to me? And when you start to do that, what you're saying is, I'm opening myself up. I want to heal. I want to become more whole so that I don't get offended, so that I can forgive, so that I can be able to move forward. Listen, we are constantly in the crosshairs of people all the time in relationships. So you've got to be willing to go, okay, am I going to continue to let this offend me, or am I going to push through? Am I going to continue to risk and continue to love? I promise you, when you do that, you not only will excel in your business in doTERRA, in your business, but you'll excel in your marriage. You'll push further along in your parenting. I remember a time where, yes, here's transparency. I allowed my kids to offend me. My kids, like they were little, and it was like pushing my buttons, like, wait, what about me? And I was like, kind of feeling like left out, like this martyr syndrome. And I'm like, what in the world? What needs to change in me? What needs to be healed in me so that I am not going to be offended? And I had to deal with those things. And I found the roots of them, and I began to just pray through them and work through them and write them down and continue to work through them. But you have to do the work to do that. If you want to be the pace setter that goes all the way to presidential, you've got to deal with this one big time. You got to be a visionary. You got to set those stretch goals. You've got to not be easily offended, and it will push you further along. And the fourth key is this: you've got to be determined to get consistent wins. You must have the resolve, no matter what, to run the race every week and every month. And if you are not getting wins consistently, you've got to be determined, what do I need to do in order to get those wins? I'm determined to become the person I need to become, to do what I need to do in order to get those wins. Give you a perfect example on our team. Tina Fuser, amazing. She works so hard. She does not let any obstacle hold her back. She pushes through. She fights through it. She goes over to Germany to become a gold winner. She won gold, if I'm not mistaken, in the World Senior Masters Championship for powerlifting. I mean, like, come on. She is a rock star. She is determined to get consistent wins no matter what. A pace setter will do that no matter what. That is a leader you can follow. That is someone that you can continue to push through and follow. And so I want to encourage you. But also, let me just say this too. A pace setter never sits and is content to be in the back of the pack. You're not content there. You can take a break occasionally, but a pace setter continues to put themselves out front. It's kind of like the flying bee. Remember, like the geese, they're moving forward. That pace setter, that front person is constantly taking the headwind for everybody else so that they can rest a little bit. And it's a little bit easier for them. They're not fully resting, but it's a little bit easier because they're taking the brunt of the wind. And then eventually someone else steps in front. But it's only temporarily, because then again, it'll rotate back where that person's in front again. They're setting the pace. And they're creating pace setters with one another and helping one another to continue to move forward. That's what a pace setter does. The truth is, everybody, you are a pace setter no matter what. If you're married, you're a pace setter. Okay? If you're a parent, you're a pace setter with your kids. If you are on this call tonight because you have a doTERRA business, which you do, you're a pace setter. The only question is, here's the only question now, is when are you going to fully embrace that reality and that responsibility? Because when you do, and you begin to step into these 4 keys, giving vision, setting those stretch goals, I'm not easily offended. I'm going to be determined to win and help other people win. And let me just say this about winning. If you're just starting your doTERRA business, you're like, I don't have any wins yet. That's okay. Go and help someone else win. That's how you win. That's how the wins happen. So I want to encourage each of you, embrace the whole reality. I'm a pace setter. You are a pace setter. You have what it takes. You can do this. You can go further along and realize that you're paving the way for the people behind you. And it's going to either be, yes, I know where I'm going, or what's going on? I'm not really sure what to do. And they're having to find other people that can help set the pace for them. What are you going to decide tonight? Make the decision tonight. Determine it in your heart. Be the thermometer. Set the temperature. Set the tone. Be the pace setter and go after it. Hey, I'm excited for you guys. I'm excited to hear the results. I'm excited to hear all the great stories and hear back. We have convention coming up. Get ready to come to convention. I'm super excited. We have so many people, hundreds of people that are coming from our team to be a part of it. And at the same time, we are closing out the month. So finish the month strong. I'm excited to see all the great success you guys are going to have. So take care, finish strong, work hard, and we're here to help you along the way. Take care, everybody. Bye.